The fifth generation of the Kia Sportage is available in several countries, showing a distinctive update both in style and technology. For the first time, the Sportage has a short and a long wheelbase version. With the new image and the technological improvements, Kia is aiming to have a larger share of the compact SUV market. Is the new design innovative or exaggerated? Please watch this video and learn about the evolution of this model, the versions available worldwide, their distinctive features, and our design styling proposals. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share and like the video, and activate the notifications bell so that we can keep producing more content. The first generation of the Kia Sportage was introduced in 1993 and was sold until 2002. After a pause, the second generation was presented in 2004 and remained in the market until 2010. The improved and successful third generation was available from 2010 to 2015. The fourth generation hit the showrooms in 2015 and in some markets was still available in 2022. The fifth generation was presented in 2021 as a 2022 model and will be launched as a 2023 model in most of the American markets. The third and fourth generations share similar style features, like the shape of the windows, the C-pillar, the taillights, and the tiger nose grille. At first sight, it seems that the Kia designers had started from scratch. Despite the great success of the two previous generations, this model looks completely different. However, we can identify some Kia features besides the Kia logo, like the shape and flow of the lines in the windows, the rear ornament on the D-pillar, and the surfaces on the sides of the Seltos. The two bonded screen array and the controversial air vents in the Sorrento's dashboard, and the original rear end shape, where the taillights are placed, resembles the new Kia e-car EV6. For the first time, this generation is offered in two different lengths. The short version is already sold in Europe, and the long one in some countries of Asia and Oceania. This version has been announced for North America. The short version is 177.7 inches long and has a 105.5-inch wheelbase. The long version is 183.5 inches long, that is around 5 inches longer, and has a 108.5-inch wheelbase, 3 inches longer than the short version. Both versions have a width of 73 inches and a height of 65 inches. To identify which of the two versions it is, you need to look at the sides and notice the way the windows end at the back of the car. In the short version, the window's chromed bottom line ends in the C-pillar, which has a trapezoidal shape and is intersected by a chromed line slanted at the same angle as the last section of the rear door's window's chromed ornament. This upper line continues to the rear spoiler on the hatch. The long version emulates the floating roof effect by extending the windows up to the rear end, hiding the D-pillar with glass and a metallic or black finish ornament. This design provides a visual continuity to the lines and separates the roof from the bottom part of the body. The Sportage design team decided to present an avant-garde proposal, forgetting the traditional features of the third and fourth generations. Inspired in the concept Opposites United, which is all about contrast, tension, and paying tribute to nature in everything, a mixture that is expressed through clean muscular surfaces, contrasted by edgy lines and aggressive graphics. The Sportage retains its strong SUV personality. The signature tiger nose grille is supported by bold and technical grille graphics, along with standard LED headlamps and boomerang-shaped DRLs. The front, with its angular shapes, and the C and D pillars with the deconstructed array, are the most controversial but distinctive features of the new Sportage. In the interior, controls are simplified and clustered to provide a more integrated look. Let's make a detailed design analysis of the 5th generation of the Sportage. Besides the differences between the short and long versions mentioned before, let's see the variations in the sides, the interior, and the front and rear ends, where most of the changes occur according to the version and the market. These versions can be gasoline, diesel, mild hybrid, or plug-in hybrid with several levels of equipment. Now let's see what features make them different from each other. The front of the Sportage stands out because it looks original and well-balanced due to the geometrical patterns the elements follow. The tiger nose shape is present in a large size as a result of the lines around the grille and then in a compact way at the top below the hood line. The design of the upper part of the front end is the same for all the versions of the Sportage worldwide. The changes come at the bottom of the grille. The design labeled as number 1 can be found in all the versions and is compassed by 2 polygonal shapes that contain the fog lights and could have the same color of the body, black or gray, or a chromed finish. The design labeled as number 2 displays a similar polygonal shape as number 1, but somehow inverted. Number 3 has a less angular shape than the 2 previous versions. The almost rectangular frame gives the SUV a more conservative or rugged look. This design is more common in the long and all-wheel drive versions. Variations on the sides are limited to the ornaments at the bottom of the doors, which have different shapes, colors or finishes according to the version and market. All the designs contribute to narrow the silhouette of the car and emphasize the lines along the sides and visually make the SUV look longer. In the long version, the D-pillar is hidden by the last section of the windows and a black or metallic ornament. In the short version, where the C-pillar is of the same color as the body, the only variation is that the upper part of the pillar, divided by the chromed ornament, is black, becoming part of the roof in the two-tone versions. The rear of the vehicle has powerful broad shoulders that suggest stability and give it a planted stance. We consider the design of the rear end is attractive, clean, and well-balanced. One of the most attractive elements in the rear end are the drop-shaped taillights, joined by a black bar that runs along the crest, where the surface coming from the rear window meets the curved part of the hatch, as it happens in the rear of the Kia EV6. In the long version, there is a line below the taillights bar that results from the change of the angles of the middle section and the lower one, where we can see a black area with different shapes at the bottom, where lights and sensors are located. This black area can be either shiny piano black or dull black. The short version does not have this line. As mentioned before, the lower part of the rear end, where lights and sensors can be found, is where the changes are noticed among versions. Inside the Sportage you can see a contemporary design that looks clean and well organized, with an excellent selection of colors, materials, and textures. The controls on the dashboard have been simplified and grouped on touch screens or buttons. One of the most outstanding elements of the dashboard is the integrated curved display, which is driver-oriented and compassed by 2 screens of 12.3 inches each, containing the main gauges and the infotainment display and controls. Below that array of screens, there is another stripe of touch controls that can be used either for the radio or the air conditioner. In our opinion, the only elements that do not match the clean style of the dashboard are the vents on both sides of the main screens. The shape they have break the rhythm of the rest of the interior's design. They seem to be inspired on the bizarre vents of the Kia Sorento. The seats and upholstery look original and of good quality. The design of the interior is practical and well organized. There are USB ports on the sides of the back of the seats and an integrated support behind the headrests where you can hang garments or accessories. The legroom in the back seats and the cargo space have very good dimensions, especially in the longer version, which is 7 inches longer than the 4th generation. The central console is not only attractive in design, but practical as well, The space for drinks can easily be adapted for other items. One noticeable difference in this console is the gear selector that can be with buttons or a traditional shift lever. Additional to the standard safety features that most of the SUV offer these days, the Sportage has lane following and lane keeping assist, forward collision avoidance with junction turning capability, blind spot collision assist, activated every time you use your turning signaling, blind view monitor on the cluster, 360-degree view surround monitor, very useful to park in tight spaces, and remote smart parking assist among other features. Even when the grille is very original and has an attractive design, we consider it is too tall, and so many black elements make the front end look heavier than expected. If we evaluate the sides and the rear end, therefore, we suggest increasing the area of the front bumper by pulling the upper edge upwards, making the grille look narrower, provide more bumper area, and increase space for the license plate. The upper section of the diamond-shaped headlight set looks very overcrowded with horizontal lines. We think a simpler design would benefit the Sportage front appearance. As mentioned before, the fenders are extended outside the car to provide a muscular look. In general, they look great from every angle, except from the sides, where the rear fenders go over the rear doors and do not follow a round pattern, as in other Kia models. In the Sportage, the edge of the fender extends to the front doors, creating an undesirable shape that we call the rabbit leg. These set of bulky surfaces have very controversial angles. Let's see this picture taken from the Kia's German website and notice the negative effect caused by the reflections of these surfaces, which make the car look as if it had been in an accident. To avoid this, we propose a cleaner and more geometrical design. In the rear end, we have simplified the taillights, trimming the unnecessary shapes that go out of the simplest design path and aligning the joints of the body. In this view, you can also see how the redesigned rear fenders look like. These proposals apply for all the models, however for the long version, we have made an additional styling exercise by extending the body of the car to cover the D pillar as it did in the third and fourth generations. This styling exercise was made to give you an idea of how the Sportage would look like if the design team had followed the traditional lines that distinguish this model. In the interior, we propose to redesign the air vents on both sides of the main screens by integrating them to the horizontal line on the dashboard. The Sportage, in general, looks very attractive and proposes a very innovative design. What do you think of this update? Is it radical, exaggerated, or contemporary? Which version do you like most? And what do you think of our design proposals? We would like to hear from you. Please leave a comment and subscribe to our channel to support future design analysis. Hasta la vista. An Auto Vista.